This time, we'd like to welcome the Montana Grizzlies to the dais. To my immediate left, we have senior guard Bobby Moorhead, the man in the middle, Michael Ogine, and on the far left, we have Ahmad Rory, a senior guard. This time, we'll open up for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We're going to go on the right side on the aisle.
This is for all you guys. Just what are your thoughts being in Des Moines, and how does it feel this time around as opposed to last year in Wichita?
We're going to start on the far left with Ahmad.
It feels real good. You know, travel was good, and it's a blessing just being able to be out here again for a second year in a row. But we're coming out here prepared, so we had a good practice today and just been trying to get a lot of rest. So it feels good having some downtime, be able to have some fun.
It feels pretty similar, honestly, to Wichita, our last site we were at. Pretty similar feel, you know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans here, just neutral fans wanting to enjoy a good game. So I'm looking forward to that and just, you know, having a good time with my teammates.
Just excited to be here, second year in a row, making the NCAA tournament. It's a dream come true. I think we're more focused, more locked in this year, and ready to get after it.
Stay on the right side.
Riley Corcoran, Montana Radio. All three of you guys part of the winningest two-year stretch in school history. So I guess a good question for all of you. What are you most proud of in your Grizzly career?
Start with Ahmad, work our way back.
Just being able to, you know, make it to the tournament twice in a row, win 2 championships, and we have a group that, you know, has worked hard each year. So I think with that being said, just having this group that's, you know, been through a lot of adversity but been able to achieve a lot as well.
Yeah, just like Ahmad said, just getting to the tournament 2 years, that's been a great part about it. But also, you know, building something that, you know, we could be proud of, that people in the city are proud of, putting a product on the floor that people enjoy, and, you know, we're just bringing, like, you know, some enjoyment to the community. I think that's a special thing, and I feel like we've been able to do that pretty well and on time.
I'm just proud of how much we've grown as a team over these last 2 years. Yeah, like Ahmad said, all the adversity. The championships are amazing, and just going through everything with your brothers is just the best thing. And so just getting to have these guys as lifelong friends is awesome.
Stay on the right side.
Sean Rainey, SWX Montana. You guys, you know, have grown up watching the tournament and watched upsets and all that. So what would it mean for you guys to be that darling, that upset team?
Ahmad?
It would mean a lot, you know, and I feel like we honestly have the team with the potential to do that this year. You know, we have a very old veteran team, and we've all been through a lot, you know, prepared a lot. So I think just having a good game plan, you know, and just not really playing with pressure. I feel like if we do that, then we'll be good. But yeah, just growing up, watching a lot of games, it's been, you know, great to see teams go far that probably weren't supposed to go far.
Yep, it would be a dream come true, just like Ahmad said. You know, growing up, it's always fun to root for the underdogs, having them pull off an upset. That's obviously our goal. So to do that, it'd mean a lot, you know, just for ourselves, for the team, for the city, for everyone that supported us along the way. You know, it'd mean a lot, so that's the goal.
We pretty much know there's going to be upsets every year, so why not us? I mean, I know the rest of the guys on our team believe, so I think it'd just be a dream come true. It'd be super awesome.
Kyle Hansen, the Missoulian. Ahmad, just this team, Michigan especially, is just a very strong defensive team, and they're just bigger than you guys size-wise. When you approach this game, just how do you, you know, look at the way how to kind of run your offense against this team? You know, they defend ball screens really well. You know, they defended the 3-ball really well, which you guys have improved on. How do you guys kind of approach this offensively?
Yeah, I feel like we need to get out in transition. You know, I feel like we don't do that enough, but when we do, we score at a high rate. And then just moving the ball side to side, and then I know that all the shooters are going to be ready to shoot, and then getting some offensive rebounds. You know, we have guys that are capable of going up there and get rebounds. So if we just do those 3 things, I think we'll be good.
I'm going to switch over to the left side of the aisle. Go ahead.
Derek Berkeley with K-Pax. Bobby, along those lines, matching up with their size, something you're going to have to do personally. So what do you think about that matchup going up against them?
It's going to be tough. I mean, yeah, we've dealt with size issues a lot this year, and it's going to be nothing new. I mean, I think their center's, you know, over 7 foot, so it's going to be a really tough matchup. But you know, it's been tough the whole year, so we just got to get mentally prepared for it and just do our best. And I think when we've played our hardest and our best this year, things usually work out, and so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to play our hardest.
Other questions? Right side.
What do you guys remember just from before tip-off as far as the jitters of last year and kind of just being on this experience and this scene, and how much do you think they'll be not as big this go-around?
Start with Ahmad, work our way to Bobby.
Well, it was my second time, going to the tournament. I went with Oregon before, so I was familiar with it a little bit, but obviously playing a different role on this team. But yeah, I kind of had a little bit of jitters, but just try to just relax, just know that my team was well prepared. And I think this year, with it being my third time and everyone else's second, that we'll just come out here and then be focused and just try to go win the game. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal being nervous.
Last year, the game kind of got delayed a little bit. I'm pretty sure the game before went to overtime, so that kind of helped out with nerves. Like, you had some pregame nerves, but watching that game, go in extended time, kind of just were able to relax a little bit and just go out and play our game. But yeah, with Ahmad, like Ahmad said, like, experience definitely helps with that. So I don't anticipate that, we'll be as nervous. It'll be more like, all right, let's get this thing going. Let's take care of business and go from there. So.
Yeah, there definitely were some jitters last year, I think, all around. You're traveling on a charter flight, which we're not usually used to, with a lot of people who aren't normally in our normal travel crew. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of excitement, a lot of hype going on. It's just different. And so this year, we expected it, we were prepared for it, and I think a lot of us are just more focused. And so I don't think the jitters will be there as much. Obviously, you're still playing on the biggest stage in the country, so there's still going to be a little bit. But, 1 year under our belt, we feel different. We feel we truly believe this year, and so I think that's the difference.
Other questions? Left side aisle.
Michael, Coach Beeline for Michigan mentioned how much better shooting of a team you were last year. Missing some shots ended up being really the difference in that game. What do you think about how good of a shooting team you have this year with some of the additions you have too?
It definitely makes us stronger, makes us a better team, built to sustain, dry spells. We had a really big dry spell last year against these guys that kind of put us in a deep hole. The improved shooting this year is definitely what's going to help us, stay in the game more. We're going to rely on that. We're going to be able to, get open looks and have confidence and knock them down when the time comes. So it's definitely great to have this year as compared to last year.
Right side.
You guys faced plenty of adversity, as you mentioned. A couple low points when you fall to Eastern Washington before the Northern Colorado game, and then again when you guys were able to regroup. How much did this moment motivate you guys in those closed-door meetings to get back to the tournament, although things that might have been going against you? But how much did this moment fuel you guys behind those closed-door meetings?
I mean, we kind of have a one-game mentality, so throughout the year, we're not necessarily looking towards March Madness or, because for a small school like us, it's pretty tough to get here. So you just kind of got to take it one game at a time, especially after those losses. But we believed in the team that we had and what we were capable of, and we just kind of got away from those things and what we do to get us to this point. And so once we got back on track, I think that's when we really started to believe that we could do this again.
Yeah, we kind of knew that our season wouldn't come down to just, regular conference loss. So we knew that we had a bigger picture at hand. So we kind of just said, let's get through this point, let's regroup, let's get better, and let's make sure we're the best we can be when it's time for our conference tournament so we can win 3 games in a row and get back here. So that's kind of what motivated us.
Yeah, at that point, we weren't really playing that good of basketball. So when we were able to, regroup, like they said, and just knew that it would come down to the 3 games in the tournament, we knew that we would be fine.
So I'll have time for a couple more questions if there are any more questions. 5 minutes left in this session. Any other questions for our student athletes? Okay, guys, best of luck. We'll let you go back to the locker room. We'll have Coach up here shortly. Thank you. Pleased to have with us head coach of Montana Grizzlies, Travis DeCure. The Grizzlies are appearing in the NCAA tournament for the 12th time in program history, including the 5th time in the past decade. The Grizzlies swept the Big Sky Conference regular season and postseason tournament for the second straight year. They are the number 15 seed in the West region, and for the second consecutive year will play Michigan in the final game of Thursday's first round here at Wells Fargo Arena. Coach, welcome to Des Moines.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. This is what it's all about for these young men, is an opportunity to perform on the biggest stage. I'm sure they just expressed that to you. Kind of feels like Groundhog Day. A lot of familiar faces. Hopefully a different outcome. We got a lot of work to do. This Michigan team is very good. I think a lot of people may expect to see the same thing on the floor in terms of product from each team, but I think we both have evolved in a different direction. They're more wing dominant than they were last year with their front line. We spread the floor, play a little faster, and put a few more points on the board. So should be a little exciting game tomorrow, and once again, just fortunate to be here.
At this time, we'll take questions. Please raise your hand. We have a holder. We're going to start on the left side on the aisle and then come over to you, ma'am, on the right side.
Denny O'Grady with the Carroll Daily Times-Herald, Carroll, Iowa. Coach, what's going to be the keys to beating Michigan, and do you have any ties to Iowa?
No ties to Iowa. Michigan's a tough team to beat. They're good on both sides of the ball, a lot like last year. I think Beilein's one of the few coaches that spends a lot of time on both sides of the ball. Most teams have an identity on either side. They defend as well as anyone in the country, 28% from three. It's very common to look up and hold teams in the 30s field goal percentage overall. We like to try to do the same thing. And so for us, the keys are going to be contain Simpson. I think he's their motor, he's their machine. He's the one that creates a lot of the offense for the others, keeping him out of the paint, slowing him down in transition, containing him in ball screens, and try to force the others to make plays for each other. If we can get them a little out of sync, slow down their timing in offense, maybe we can force some turnovers and see if we can get out in transition ourselves. We want to score in the high 70s, low 80s. They keep a game in the 60s. So I think the higher the score, probably the better we'll be off.
LJ Dawson with the Montana Kaiman. You guys, for your whole entire conference season, were the ones at the top that everyone was chasing. The position has switched. You're now the underdogs going up against Michigan. How does that change your mentality for better or worse?
Well, we've had a few games like that this year where the bullseye wasn't on our back. Not a lot, but a few. And those are the ones our guys performed the best in, to be honest. Whether it was on the road or when we found ourselves in second, third in the standings and we were trying to get back to the top, we played with a high level of desperation. I think with a rematch from a year ago, I think our guys are going to go into this game the same way. So hopefully we'll be a lot hungrier and focused on all the details that matter and play our best basketball.
Stay on the right side on the aisle, then we'll come up front to you, sir.
Kyle Hansen with the Missoulian. Travis, last year you had the same starting lineup all season long, and this year it's just been up and down, changes left and right. Going into this game, knowing that this lineup, you've done a lot of small ball this year, do you feel confident, even though you've had so many changes this year?
I do. I believe in these guys. I've got veterans in this lineup. Cy Bridges played a lot of basketball games as a junior. He's a senior now. We're until in the season. He's played enough basketball games that we've got a lot of older guys going on the floor. And so with our maturity, we've been able to settle in through adversity. Right now, I think we're playing our best basketball, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Sean Rainey, S3X Montana. Coach Beilein said that compared to last year's team, the way that you guys are different as far as spreading them out and being able to push the pace and play a little bit faster than last year in that matchup. He said it's hard to defend, and we've heard a lot of Big Sky coaches the last few weeks say those same things. So how do you think, maybe matchup-wise it'll be different than last year, and maybe you could exploit some of that?
We ran into a brick wall last year. We were post-dominant. We threw the ball inside. We played inside-out basketball. Film doesn't tell the story in terms of how physical and how big a team is. And I thought we'd have some advantages at the 4 spot in the post, and we couldn't get a shot off. And so once the game settled down and it became a half-court basketball game, we struggled to get shots. We're a different basketball team right now, and I think the way we're built could be advantageous to how they defend. But on the flip side, they have advantages with size. And we've got to find a way to keep that ball out of the paint and rebound. But we've done that with bigger teams this year, and the question is if we can do it again tomorrow night.
Left side aisle, go ahead.
Coach Derek Berkeley with K-Pax. Along those same lines, you missed some open shots last year. This team's been great at knocking those down. How confident are you with the shooting that you have this year?
Doesn't matter how confident I am. Those guys that you just talked to up here, they got to believe, right? I think we're a very confident basketball team. I think that we have found a way to grind and trust each other and play with a high level of confidence in each other, which means our shot selection is a lot better than it was a year ago. We'll turn down an okay shot for a better shot. If we can be patient, knowing that this is a good defensive team that's going to take away first, second options, contest everything, and just work and not panic at the end of shot clock, we'll get open shots. We just got to be patient enough to wait for them. I think we'll knock those shots down. But I also think that the key is always to get as many high percentage shots as you can. We're not going to just settle and bomb away from three because that might be the best shot we can get. We're going to find ways to get 2-point shots, whether that's tempo or off our defense. We'll find a way, but the more of those we get, the better off we'll be.
Okay, go in the back on the right side, ma'am, and then we're up front.
You guys had a really tough non-conference season at the beginning of this year or beforehand. How did that prepare you to be here and playing tomorrow?
We played quite a few teams that either were built to be championship teams or actually did compete for championships. And it's a different feeling when you go on the floor and you match up against someone who thinks they're good enough to hang a banner. And so that prepares you for March. I thought we did well. I thought we improved from the adversity that we dealt with during those stretches. I don't think we were ourselves when we played Creighton. I don't think we were ourselves when we played Arizona. And unfortunately, we didn't go out and perform in those games the way I thought we would when I signed up for those games. But we'd had injuries right before or day of that kept us from putting our best product on the floor, and we weren't able to play with what we prepared. This time around, the guys we're putting on the floor we've been playing with for a long time now. But I do think those games prepared us for this situation.
Travis, your team, pretty much everybody here has been to the tournament on this team. How's the feeling been? Have they just been, more calm with everything, or how have they kind of approached this time around as opposed to last year?
It's been more calm the last 12 hours. From a one-bid league, you're going to celebrate. You could go 10 years in a row. That Saturday night, if you win a championship, you're going to celebrate like it's first championship you're winning in your life. And that's what our guys did. They enjoyed the moment. Sunday, they enjoyed Selection Sunday, and we had an incredible crowd from our community come and watch the show with us and enjoy the moment with us. Monday's practice, high energy, fun, probably not the most disciplined practice, probably not the most detail-oriented group that day. But then as time passed, Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. practice, hard to get up for. They were ready to go. As focused as any team probably could be at 8:15 in the morning. And then today, they were ready to go. And I thought I was focused. I thought I was ready to go. And I had a couple of them on me, making sure I was ready. So it turned into more of a business trip today.
Stay on the right.
I think so much as we ask the players what it's like stepping on the court and playing the game and stuff. What is it like for you getting going on this game and going up against a coach that I know that you have a lot of respect for as well?
It's exciting, but I built this team to treat every game the same, whether you're playing Michigan or Eastern Washington or Idaho. You have to treat each game the same so that when one becomes more meaningful, you can handle the rise in intensity in the moment, right? But you also show up for a game that you might not pencil in on your calendar when the schedule comes out. For us, it's more than just another game. Obviously, your season either continues or ends tomorrow night. But our guys are excited and ready to go. I'm excited and ready to go. It's a big moment for me. This is what I dream of, is coaching an NCAA tournament. As a head coach, it's my second time. I'd love to be able to do this every year, and until I have that type of program, I'm going to enjoy the moment. So when I step on the floor, I look at the bright lights, I smile, enjoy the moment, and when the ball goes in the air, it's time to go to war.
Stay on the right side. We have 5 minutes left in this session.
Travis, something about Michigan is that they can also have spurts offensively where they don't score, 5, 6, 7 minutes. You guys are also a defensive-oriented team. How do you guys force them into one of those stretches, and then also how do you take advantage of that on the offensive end?
It's hard to answer without giving up the scouting report. We just got to do what we do. Don't gamble, be in all the right spots. We know where the ball wants to go. We know when they're trying to get a shot and where for the most part. If we're in the right places at the right times, that moment will happen. And that's what we're known for. We're known for holding teams scoreless for minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes. I think Weber finished the season leading the conference in scoring. We held them scoreless for, 10 minutes? Hopefully we can do that again. And I'm not comparing the two teams. Michigan's a better basketball team, there's no question about it. But if we're in the right places and we pick up the flow of their offense, at some point in time, we should be in all the right spots at the right time, and hopefully it turns into one of those stretches.
Stay on the right.
Coach asked his players the same question, but what are you most proud of during this 2-year run to lead your alma mater to back-to-back tournaments, 26 wins in each year?
You want me to answer that without bragging? It's hard to do. I'm proud of my guys. Ahmad Rory, you're talking about a top 50 recruit in the country that's playing for a program that's in the one bid league. Transfers down from the Pac-12. He's been on a #1 nationally ranked team in the country. I mean, he's got a lot of reasons to throw up 20 shots a game like a lot of guards we played against this year. And he's taken a back seat, not to anyone, but just to the moment to benefit our team, our program, to give us an opportunity to sit here in front of you right now. I'm proud of him for that because that's hard to do. And when you dream of playing in the NBA, you dream of playing for money. Sometimes your stats, your accolades are important. And a lot of times those things are worth dollar signs. And he put those in the back seat to get here to win a championship. I'm proud of him for that. Saeed Pridgett, for 2 years, he's wanted to be the guy. He's wanted to get shots. He's wanted the ball in his hands. He's wanted to start, and he waited his turn, and he trusted me. Michael Guinea had the best freshman year in the history of Montana basketball. And going into his sophomore year, everyone had big expectations for him to maybe be the best player to ever put on a jersey at Montana. But here comes Ahmad Rory, here comes Saeed Pridgett, he's got a share, here comes Jamar Coe. So we've got guys on the floor that can also score at a high rate with him. And so he goes from expecting to score 25 a game himself to 12, 13. But he's had 30-point games. They've all had 30-point games, but none of them average 20. It's very difficult to do. So I'm proud of the selflessness that my group has expressed and shown together to build a championship program.
I have time for 2 more questions. Okay, go back on the right side.
What do you hope, it is a senior crew that you're going to be playing with for possibly the last time tomorrow night or moving on, what do you hope for those 3 guys playing tomorrow night?
I want to see them walk out of this arena with a smile on their face. That means either we won or they're proud of the effort that they put forward and the product that they put out in representation of our community, our program, their families, their friends. I want them to walk out of here proud, and that's not easy to do in defeat. So we got to find a way to win and play our best basketball.
Any other questions out there? Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Montana will be practicing at 5:40 on the court.